Ayo, I hope everybody is doing well. Are you guys hyped for the upcoming epicness in Ever Crisis? On the docket today, we are talking about that, which is a new Final Fantasy chapter, which is nice, and a new character finally added to the roster, and that is Cait Sith. That is super exciting for me. I hope you guys are just as excited, and he is coming out so soon, pretty much today after the maintenance. So he will probably be out at around the same time as this video, maybe a little before, maybe a little after, depending on when I get it done. But yeah, Cait Sith, as I've called him for about 20 years now, and I'm sure most people have called him that. But director Naoki Hamaguchi has come out and said that it is actually pronounced Ketchi. So in respect to him, I'm going to call this character Ketchi from now on. I think that's a pretty cool name, and of course if you call it Cait Sith, that is perfectly fine, just so long as you know who I'm talking about. So a new arsenal of weapons, a new character, that is just so hypey. And as you can see, he was obviously teased in the Easter egg event that we have basically been doing right now, that has just come out. And you can see him there in his adorable Easter outfit, probably the costume that he's going to be released with. You can also see Aerith in her costume from the most recent banner, and you can actually see Tifa in a bunny girl outfit, so expect that to be released as well with a part 2 of the Easter egg event or something like that. So a lot of exciting stuff coming really soon today, and Cait Sith, or Ketchi, runs just as funny and adorably as he does in the original game. Check it out. But that's not the end to the goodness, because they have also announced, as you've probably seen in the notices, new limit breaks for all of the characters in the game. That is super epic, so the next level of limit breaks for everybody, and I can't wait for that. Now, for the First Soldier characters, obviously this is the first time we see First Soldier. For these 4 characters, we won't really know what to expect for the limit breaks, but you can kind of guess based on the name. Like Lucia's cheering shots, I'm assuming is going to be some kind of supportive ability. As for the original Final Fantasy VII cast, and of course Zack from Crisis Core, you might know what to expect a bit if you've played the original game, or Rebirth, or Crisis Core. So you can take a look at these few little clips. Very nostalgic clips from the original game, and a few clips from Crisis Core and Rebirth. So yeah, the next level of limit breaks for all of the characters in the game. It's going to be super exciting. Don't really know how they're going to do that, if they're going to just add it to the character growth stream, or if they're going to create some new mechanic to unlock it. Either way, that's super hard. But for the second part of this video, I want to talk about what I would like to see in the game, what I would like added to the game. And you can let me know what you think about that, and if you have any cool ideas of what should be in the game, please let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you think of my ideas. The first things first is Moogles. Moogles is a mainstay of the Final Fantasy VII franchise, so they just have to be in the game. We got Chocobos, now we just need Moogles. I personally love Moogles, and we need them in the game. Next thing is better AI and auto. So I'm sure a lot of people agree with this. There are tons of examples of this, but my tiny little one is breaking this boss, and then my characters go on to do healing esunas when they could just be finishing the boss off. But yeah, there are tons of examples of that, like Aerith only using her Night Bloom when she has the Sun Umbrella equipped, and so on and so forth. So hopefully they do a bit better AI, and hopefully an advanced auto where limit breaks and summons are used in the auto. Next up, I would really like them to add the Gold Saucer to this game. in some way or another, that would be epic, because it is such a big thing in Final Fantasy VII. So I'm using clips from Final Fantasy XIV Online's Gold Saucer for this video, because I don't want to use Rebirth/Reunion videos, because I don't want to spoil myself for one, and I don't want to spoil the viewers either. So there you have it. The Gold Saucer would be an epic addition to the game, and hopefully we could have that with some kind of mini games, and maybe even the classic and loved Chocobo Racing. I think that would be super awesome, maybe with a few rewards for it, and yeah, just it'll be a lot of fun to break up the monotony of the grind. The next thing I have is a few ideas for regarding weapon parts. Two things specifically that I'd really like them to add to the game. The first is that when you are overboosting your weapons, you need to look through your weapon parts and find which ones have 200 plus so that you can overboost them. Then you need to go into your weapons and find them there to overboost them. But that is a little bit tedious in my opinion, and I think they should add a sorting option for weapon parts. I think that could be super useful, where you can sort for weapon parts, and then the weapons that are ready to be overboosted will be at the top of the list. The last thing for weapon parts is when it comes to fully maxing out a weapon. As you can see, like my Bald Eagle, it's already overboosted +2, and if you draw it again, that feels really bad. You get these weapon parts, and all they are going to give you are a tiny amount of stats. So using the Bald Eagle as an example, I have 547 physical attack, and I'll get 549 for the next overboost, 231 heal, and 232 heal. So literally 2 physical attack, 1 heal for drawing a 5-star weapon. Obviously this is only a problem when you actually have weapons maxed out, but I think it would be really nice if they could create some kind of exchange where you could exchange weapon parts for non-event weapons that you have maxed out, or maybe some character-specific weapon parts. Now, it doesn't have to be super generous. It could be like 200 weapon parts for 25 character parts, or something like that. I think that would actually be super cool. Obviously, as I mentioned, this would not count for event weapons, because you can clearly get way more than what you need. So that's it for weapon parts. I think both of those additions would be awesome quality of life. And the final one is the exchange. I think that the exchange is in desperate need of a revamp. Most of it at least. The event exchanges are still pretty good in my opinion. The medal exchange is not bad. You get some pretty useful stuff, and you get those weekly and monthly stuff that are quite nice. Crisis medals, on the other hand, could use a bit more stuff. The 4-star catalysts are pretty nice, but the breaches are pretty outdated at this point. They can only reach level 5, and on top of that, they only reach a maximum of low potency, so they are heavily outshined by some of the weapons that we've gotten recently. And yeah, I think the Crisis medals area needs an update. This is similarly for the enhancement exchange. I think this is almost pretty much useless. You can only currently exchange downwards, so a mid-grade steel for example for a low-grade steel, or a high-grade steel for a mid-grade steel. You can see here when I do the exchange, it is only a downwards exchange. And I think that's kind of silly, because naturally you're going to get more of the low-grade steel. I think they need to revamp this, and they need to make the exchanges go all ways, so you can upgrade, exchange, low to mid, mid to high, etc. And the same thing for synthesis, pretty much. You can only exchange crystals for ores, and you have way more ores in general than you have crystals, so it'd be nice to be able to exchange ores for crystals as well. And then you have this. Like, what actually is this? We don't get any of these weapon medals. And even if we did, we need 100 for some grindstone chunks. This is pretty much just a dead tab, so I'm pretty sure they could do something with that as well. I think the Chocobo exchange is fine, but I would like to see an update to the gear exchange as well. A lot of people who buy the season passes get quite a few gear exchange tickets, and right now we can only use them for these 3-star outdated outfits. I mean, some of them do look cool, don't get me wrong, like Barrett's and Lucia's, but as I said, people get the season pass, and a lot of people are just hanging on to their gear vouchers in hopes that they will start adding some of the gacha outfits to the gear exchange, like starting with Cloud's Murasame Garb, for instance, and that'll also help newer players have access to those outfits. Also, pieces. You can see here I have about 3,700 power pieces and about 3k magic pieces, and I have 13k healing pieces. Now I don't know if this is just a me thing, but clearly I have way more healing pieces, and I think it would be really nice if you did exchange piece for piece. So if I could exchange some of my healing pieces for some magic or power pieces and vice versa. I think that is not too much to ask for and would be awesome quality of life as well. Last but not least, I think the weapon uncap items should be exchangeable as well. So for instance, I have 378 of these bad boys and 346 of these, but I only have about 140 of the small ones, 154. So I think it would be cool if we could exchange the higher level ones for the lower level ones and vice versa. Same thing with nanocubes. You can see this time I have more of the lower version. So to be able to exchange it to the higher version would be pretty nice, even if it's at like a 2-to-1 ratio or something. That's fine with me. So, thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any ideas and what you think of my ideas, and all the best for your pet sheep pools, and I hope you're stoked like I am. Bye bye.